I had a lot of bad things happen to me, and I didn't know if I was coming or going. I had my mom murdered at 7 years old. She was stabbed 21 times and hung. Well, my brother Randall used to challenge me with other little kids in the community center. You know, everybody comes from everywhere, and they tell me, fight this guy, fight that guy. If I beat him up, I get $1. Came back at 11 knowing that I can really be a good fighter because I was fighting everybody else around the block for $1. And when I came 11 years old, I continued boxing. I won my first fight. I got a knockout in 30 seconds. And since then, I never stopped. I had 101 wins, 21 losses, 65 knockouts, rated #1 in the world for 6 years in a row. I won the Golden Glove 5 years in a row. I won 2-time national. Well, you got to understand when you become a celebrity, things come at you from every direction. If you don't know how to control it, well, you're going to go in the wrong way. But there was 3 things that got me there when I first got there, and that was my discipline, my desire, and dedication. And I knew if I got those 3 Ds right back, I can go as far as I wanted to. But I had to put that other 4th one in, and that was determination. And when I got that, I was on my way to success. My wife is very smart, but she turned it all around for me, man. Look what I have today. She don't need me. I need her.
When it comes to the fights, from the minute we walk out that door, I am no longer his wife, I am his manager. He has to climb in the ring and hit somebody or get hit, that's true. But at the same time, he can't go wrong in there. But some of the nicest things that I've dealt with are meeting Don King. And he never gave me that chauvinistic attitude. From the front, he treated me as an equal. He never treated me as anything lower than him.
I want the world to watch him. Give this man his just due.
I love boxing.
We're ready to begin telling you a little bit about this guy. Rodolfo Blanco, 28, 10, 1, 17 KOs. He's from Colombia. As I mentioned, he'll be attempting to counter his 2nd world title. He's a former IBF flyweight champion of the world. He held a 112-pound belt from June 11th through November of '93. He's won his last 2 outings, both by decision. The book on him, he's got a good left hook, good jab and uppercut. He told us yesterday when we had the opportunity to speak with him, I know that Tapia is a great fighter. It's going to be difficult because when you go after him, he runs. He's going to have tremendous crowd support, which you might hear a few boos, but the people are all on their feet here. All they're waiting for is Tapia. He retired for 3 years, and we asked him yesterday, what forced you to come back? He says, nothing forced me to come back. He said, I want to make some money. Fighting Tapia for Don King, I'm making a lot of money for this fight, he said. I've been working very hard for this fight. Fought 5 times in the United States last year. He says, I'm in shape all the time. At 40 fights, he's only been stopped a couple of times. Only been down once in his career, other than the times he was stopped. So with all of that, it could be an interesting fight for as long as it goes. The kid's not coming here to roll over for Johnny Tapia in Johnny's backyard because it's his birthday. If Johnny gets the birthday present that he's hoping for, he's going to work for it for as long as this thing goes. And now the anticipation continues to build as Johnny Tapia will be coming into view very shortly. Just watch the walk-in here. We'll just let you absorb the atmosphere here because it is tremendous. Just listen and watch. Johnny Tapia will be making his appearance momentarily. He's in the runway approaching the ring. Just listen and watch. Is it a fighter entering the ring or the coronation of a king? Both belts on the line, the WBO and IBF 115-pound titles as Johnny gets ready to come in. 42-0, 2 draws, 24 KOs. Blanco, by the way, in case you're wondering, he's not watching any of this. He has no interest in this at all, and you can't blame him. He expected this. He knows he's fighting in this guy's backyard. 13th title defense. It's Johnny's birthday. He's 31 today. He won the WBO 115-pound championship when he stopped Henry Martinez in 1994 here in Albuquerque. July of '87, that big fight with Romero that he won here. And Johnny is finally in the ring. Little prayer for Johnny before the fight. As you take a look at the tail of the tape, we can tell you that Johnny Tapia is a half-inch taller. The weight's exactly the same. Age exactly the same. 5 inches in reach advantage for Johnny Tapia. I find that very hard to believe, but that's what they tell us, and we watch the guys measure them. Unified rules, 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count, free knockdown rule in effect. No free knockdown rule, rather. No free knockdown rule in the unified rules. Remember that. No free knockdown rule. That is, must get up following a low blow that can be counted out. And this is the scene outside, the pit. To make that absolutely clear, there is no free knockdown rule in the unified rules. In the WBA, there was a free knockdown rule, but in the unified rules, no free knockdown rule. So, hypothetically, if either guy goes down 3 or 4 times around, it doesn't make any difference, except for the judges' scorecard. Johnny Tapia does it all. Quick hands, quick at his feet, punishing body shots, working on his right hand all the time, trying to prove it. Got a great left hook, and you talk about Roberto Duran and the great heart that he had. This kid's got it. Tremendous desire to be the best. You heard in the pre-fight interviews how he suffered personal tragedies. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Before we begin our action at this time, we ask your attention for a solemn and important moment as we pause to recognize the unfortunate passing of one of our members of the boxing community who recently passed away. We speak of Polo Saucedo, whose wife is in the ring at this time, brother is in the ring at this time, and tonight Johnny Tapia dedicates his efforts to the memory of his great friend and a great fighter, Polo Saucedo. In addition, he, along with Don King, will be granting $10,000 to the family of Polo Saucedo. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for a moment of silence as our timekeeper tolls 10 in honor of the fallen Polo Saucedo. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. May God rest his soul. Ladies and gentlemen, Don King Productions and St. Ides welcomes you to our featured bout of the evening here at the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This our main event coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization President Francisco Valcarcel, Supervisor Stan Gallup, in conjunction with the International Boxing Federation President Robert Lee Sr., Supervisor Darrell Peoples, and the New Mexico State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Leo Dow, Commissioners Louis Burke, Joanna Aguilar, and Jim Lilly, with the Executive Director Ricardo Campos. Presenting to you our physician at ringside, Dr. Charles D. Milligan. Timekeeper at the bell, we have Terry McDowell. Keeping count of the knockdowns, Linda Jo Martinez. And presenting our judges scoring this bout from ringside, William Gantz, Harold Gomes, and William Ray. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing, the unification of the WBO and IBF Junior Bantamweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's showtime! Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, he'll be giving instructions, Tony Rosales. Well, fans, here we go, introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring, wearing red trunks with white trim, originally from San Onofre, Colombia, now living in Miami, Florida. He weighed in at the junior bantamweight limit of 115 pounds even, with a record of 29 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw. He has 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the IBF number 9 contender. Please welcome the former IBF flyweight champion of the world, Rodolfo Blanco. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion, fighting out of the red corner, really needing no introduction to you, his fans here in Albuquerque. Wearing black trunks with gold trim. Ladies and gentlemen, he weighed in the same as his opponent, 115 pounds. He is fighting out of it, representing his hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. In the ring, undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 42 wins, no losses, 2 draws with 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he celebrates his birthday by defending his title for the 13th time. Here is the undefeated IBF and WBO Junior Bantamweight Champion of the world, introducing the baby face assassin. Here is Johnny Tapia.
Okay, gentlemen, went over the rules in your dressing room. It's a championship fight, and I expect you guys to uphold that. Do you understand me? Do you have any questions from this camp? Do you have any questions from this camp? The body shot is right below the navel. You need to bring the trunks down, okay? Do you understand that? Good luck to both of you. Let's get it.
All right, Tony Rosales with the final instructions. Johnny Tapia's backyard here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The sound is deafening in here. It's really exciting to be here, folks, and we'll try to bring some of that excitement to you. I think if you just soak up the atmosphere of that crowd and the entrance and whatnot, you have to be enjoying it as much as I am bringing it to you. Bob Sheridan here, King Vision around the world. Glad that you can be with us here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Johnny Tapia, Rodolfo Blanco, the WBO and IBF Junior Bantamweight Championship of the world. A long time since 115-pounders have excited a crowd in the United States of America like this. Here we go, round number 1. Tapia to the right of your screen, black and gold in the red trunks is Rodolfo Blanco. Blanco goes to the head a little bit. Tapia has very, very quick hands and very quick feet. Tapia is black and gold. Said he'd try to feel out Blanco in the first round, see how he goes, see what he does, see what he brings to offer. Johnny doesn't look like he's waiting too much. Johnny trying to get that jab in the face of the challenger, Blanco. Blanco in his 5th world title fight. He's been the former world flyweight champion. Lost his title in his first defense, and now he's trying to take this away from Tapia. Certainly a tall order in this place called the Pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Crowd just waiting for Tapia to open up a little bit, but Johnny's being patient here in the first round of his fight. Johnny goes with a body shot. Anytime Johnny does anything, you'll hear this crowd get excited. Johnny fought 3 times in 1997. Last two fights went the distance. Johnny picking up the pace here in the first round. And he caught him pretty good with the right hand. And Johnny still with confidence now. Blanco unable to hold him off. Goes head hunting. And it looks like the heads came together, and there's definitely a cut by the left eye of Johnny Tapia. Now we'll talk about the fact that was an accidental headbutt, I'm sure. But he pulled him in, and we'll just have to wait and see how the referee rules that, whether it's accidental or not. But the heads are coming together, and Johnny is really annoyed. You see Johnny go with a little headbutt of his own. And you got a little bit of a roughhouse tactics going here by both guys in the first round. Johnny doesn't like the idea. He wanted a black eye, but I don't think he wanted to be cut. We can't tell exactly just how bad it is. We'll see in between rounds how bad this cut is. And the unified rules, the fight has got to go 4 rounds, 4 completed rounds, before it's an official fight. It's like the cut is pretty bad the way Johnny's pawing at it. You'll see just how bad now in between rounds. Johnny teeing off with the left hand. He is annoyed about this cut. And reminiscent of Mike Tyson when he was cutting his fight against, and they're having a little chat with each other. It seems like they're all right with each other because it was an unintentional headbutt, to my way of thinking anyway. All right, we'll see the headbutt here. Let's see the heads come together right there. Now, he was throwing a punch, and it's just a freak accident. We'll show you from a different angle over above here. He didn't mean to do that. His head was just swinging as he was going to throw the right hand. He was trying to take the vision away.
On your toes.
We can't see, but I can tell you, folks, from where it is, it's a bad cut.
Pick up my gloves, man.
The rule is if an accidental foul causes an injury severe enough for the referee to stop the bout, immediately the bout will result in a technical draw if stopped before 4 rounds are completed. Remember that, a technical draw, and in that event, Tapia would retain the title. After 4 complete rounds, it goes to the scorecard, and Tapia won the first round. So we'll tell you that much. So that's the situation. So it's kind of academic right now what happens, except for we'd like to see a good fight. And the crowd would be very upset if this were to end in the 2nd or 3rd round because of a cut because of a headbutt. Tapia would like to make short work of this guy now. He was going to wait and feel the guy out. Instead, anytime you step into the prize ring, anything can happen, and this is just another example of it. Tapia's got to get to work in a hurry, and Rodolfo Blanco realizes that he has got this guy in a situation where he can do some serious damage to that cut, and the blood is flowing pretty profusely from that eye of Johnny Tapia. Blanco wants to load up right hands to try and split that thing open more. But again, the fight has got to go the complete 4 rounds before it goes to the scorecards. Now, Tapia won the first round. This round is a little more even. Nice left hook that time by Johnny, got through. Johnny, you get the idea, really wants to pick up the pace.
Punch out, fighter, punch out.
Blood definitely bothering Johnny. It's funny, coming into the fight, he said he wanted a black eye, but he didn't want this kind of a black eye, I'll tell you. Tapia beating him to the punch now, but his face is a mess. You couldn't have a cut in a worse spot, really, than in that soft tissue of the upper eyelid. Johnny would have rather had the opportunity to box with this guy, but he's got to try to make short work of him now. And remember, Johnny's last 2 fights have gone the distance. Last time we saw him in December against Andy Augusto, went the full 12 rounds against a real good kid from Puerto Rico. And now the crowd, of course, loves it when Johnny lands the punch. Johnny winning this round, too, and he won the first round. Snaps the head back to Blanco. What will be interesting if this gets through the 4 rounds to see if Blanco can then take advantage of the cut. But as long as Tapia is winning the rounds, it's academic. We're in the closing seconds of the 2nd round now. Tapia doing what he has to do to win the fight. He's got to disregard that cut. Loads up the right hand that grazes the jaw. The bell ends round number 2.
We got to control it.
A nice job in the corner of Johnny Tapia. Tom Vergetz, Jacob Diaz, Robert Gutierrez, and Teresa in the corner. And of course, big bodyguard Roy over there keeping law and order in the corner. All right, this is round number 3. Bob Sheridan here in Albuquerque. Johnny Tapia cut in the first round of the fight. And Blanco trying to lift his title from him. I think Tapia's won the first couple of rounds, no sweat. But the cut is certainly a factor. He's staying with his orthodox punching style, which means the left eye is forward. And that time it was a low blow, and he's kind of apologized by holding that glove out. He realizes it was a low blow. But Johnny, oh, big right hand landed by Blanco. And that ignites Tapia. He gets the adrenaline flowing. Some nice digging body shots in between the head hunting by Tapia, too.
Come on. Keep it clean. Come on.
Eye holding up pretty good here, although the blood's starting to come. See those heads right together? Johnny's trying to plant those feet and not be pushed back and just really digging. Straight right hand that time. A wild right hand by Blanco. Blanco bounds that cut again. And now he opens it up again and splits a little more.
Wake up, fighter. Come on.
Gonna be tough for Johnny to get beyond 4 rounds with that cut. I mean, the corner's really got to work hard to keep that thing closed up, because every time he gets tapped on it, it splits open a little more. Just those light left hands on it, and then every once in a while lands a big right hand, and it splits that eye wide open. But Tapia is winning the round, so it's academic. As after 4 completed, goes to the scorecards, and if he's won the first 3 or 4 rounds and it's stopped, it doesn't make any difference. He wins on the decision. To this point, it's still a technical draw no matter who's ahead if it's stopped. And the champion, of course, retains his title. Johnny's eye, you can really see it now. Right hand dropped on top of it again. Johnny has really got some power behind some of the shots, but he hasn't been able to hurt him. Showing some nice hand speed. Now he switches around, fights as a southpaw. We thought now he's back fighting orthodox again. But we mentioned the fact that, he could protect that eye switch around, and he did for just an instant. So it's bothering him, because I haven't seen Johnny switch around before. Tapia, you know the history, the tough streets that he came from, the adversity he's overcome. So a cut in the eye is not going to slow this kid down much, believe me. Closing seconds of the 3rd round now. And there's the bell ending round 3. Another Tapia round.
Okay, now let me help. You got to help me, man. Johnny? Jake needs some help. Jake needs some help. And where you're going to give him the help is by staying on the outside and using your jab.
Take a look at this cut, folks. Look at that. And every time he just taps it, it splits it a little bit more. We see the live shot in between rounds here. We'll try to give you an idea how much more it's deteriorated. It doesn't look like it's deteriorated a lot more, but it's bad.
Off your jab. You get in and out off of your jab. Movement before to set it up. Okay, movement after. Okay.
All right, this is the big round that Johnny wants to get through, because then it goes to the scorecards and it's an official fight.
Come on now.
You need a chance to work. Come on.
All right, here we go. Round 4. Johnny Tapia in black and gold. In the red trunks is Rodolfo Blanco. I'm Bob Sheridan. We're coming to you live from Albuquerque, New Mexico, in a sold-out arena called the Pit on the campus of the University of New Mexico. Tapia cut in the very first round by an accidental headbutt, and it's making the boxing lesson that we expected Tapia to give to Blanco a little bit more interesting. Nice shot that time with the left hand, buckled the knees of Blanco, but he seems all right. Done a nice job in that corner. Jacob Diaz, Tom Vergetz it's actually pronounced. Roberto Gutierrez keeping that cut closed. Johnny's showing some slick movement there when he got caught on the ropes getting out of there. And you see the cut holding up pretty good through this portion of the 4th round. Remember, when the bell sounds ending the 4th round, this fight now becomes official. Tapia would like to end it any time he can, though. In spite of the cut, he's not afraid to fight inside. Does a pretty good job protecting it. Tries to spin his man. And again, you see referee Tony Rosales saying, hey, keep the heads apart, guys. It's one of these situations like Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson. The way Blanco fights, his head just comes forward. You see the way he is all the time? When he throws, and especially when he kind of throws the left hand and then crosses with the right, his body goes down naturally, and that head comes forward. And if the other guy's coming forward just off the right shoulder, the heads are going to hit. And that's what happened. And that's what Holyfield does with the shorter Mike Tyson. Now in this case, Johnny Tapia is a half-inch taller. The guys are about the same height, but look at that cut. Really bad. Nice right hand that time by Johnny. Johnny wants to end this thing in dramatic fashion. He doesn't want the cut to be the sole ending and cause the ending of this fight. And he wants to give the crowd here in attendance that's turned out for his, you might say, 31st birthday party, an entertaining time. See the time remaining in this, the 4th round, and this is important time because at the end of this round, this fight is now official. And no longer will be scored as a technical draw.
Stop, both you guys, come on.
And again, referee warns about low blows. Keep them up. And listen to the crowd come to life when Johnny does anything. All right, so that ends the 4th round, and the fight is now official. And here's the low blow. Kind of right on the belt, and the referee, and Johnny goes right back with it. So if you do something to Johnny Tapia, you can expect it to come right back at you. All right, here we go to round number 5. Tapia, the favorite son here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the black trunks, bouncing around with his back to you. That tattoo, by the way, is a religious tattoo on his back, and he has another one of the Virgin Mary on his front. Those tattoos were put on there when he was a youngster, and his grandmother, who brought him up after the death of his dad and his mother, when he was about 8 years old, I guess his mother died, and his grandmother allowed him to get the religious tattoos and no other kind of tattoo. And he actually considers that that's a guardian angel. We're in the 5th round. It's scheduled for 12. Big question of whether it can go that far with a cut on Johnny Tapia's eye. He's winning every round, to my way of thinking. And certainly the crowd in attendance here loves what they're seeing with Johnny winning every round. They'd like to see a dramatic finish to this fight and have it not stopped on the bad cut. So far, the doctor hasn't been involved and hasn't looked at the cut even, which is kind of surprising. If it was in the state of Nevada or New York State or Florida or California, you can be sure the doctor would have been in there. Here in New Mexico, we haven't seen any sign of the doctor. The crowd come to life when Johnny lands the uppercut. Halfway through the 5th round.
Break.
And again, referee says, watch the head. And there's nothing that the kid can do about the head. That's the way he fights. See what happens is when he crosses with the right hand, he bounces down with that left shoulder, he crosses with the right, the head comes forward, and he lunges. You see him? He loads up the right hand, and his head comes right at the eye of Johnny Tapia. And it's just his style of fighting. See the way that head comes down? When he goes low, Johnny comes low, and then he apologizes. And Johnny Johnny says, hey, if you're going to do it to me, I'm going to do it back to you. Johnny's showing some slick movement inside. When he gets to the ropes, he has a tendency to use that herky-jerky motion and get away, causing the guy to miss when he throws punches when he's got him in tight. Looping right hand catches. Johnny comes back with a left hook, digs to the head, and then right down below that elbow. Crowd trying to spur Johnny on. Johnny comes the chant. Kid Blanco is putting him a pretty good fight here against Johnny.
Come on, John.
Johnny hasn't been able to stagger him. Long looping right hand and just grazed the nose with that last right hand. The crowd thought he caught him good with that, but he's not dazed at all. Rodolfo Blanco, 31 years of age, exact same age as Johnny. Probably a couple of months older because today's Johnny's 31st birthday. Takes the body of the bell, ends round number 5, another Tapia round. I'll show you some body shots here by Johnny Tapia. He's not only a headhunter, he can go to the body too. He tries to dig. Look at that one there. That was kind of a little on the low side, and Johnny realized it. He forced the guy off. But Johnny stopped action.
Let's go, let's go! Let's go, baby.
Tapia's camp, by the way, brought up low blows in the rules meeting because they were concerned with Blanco's tendency to throw low blows. But any time that Blanco has landed a low blow, Tapia has been very quick to respond by answering with a low blow of his own, just to keep it even. Because in spite of the fact whether a low blow is accidental or not, it's still a foul. And the only thing you can do as a fighter if you get hit with one is nail one back, because it does take something out of you. And a lot of guys will intentionally throw a low blow and then apologize, because it takes a lot out of a guy. Nice snapping, crisp left jab that time by Blanco. He's living in Miami, Florida now, trained by Tudo Zabala, Roberto Quesada. Catalino Matos is handling the cuts, but hasn't had to do anything. And Jose Cuadrado. This is the 6th round in a fight that looked dangerously like it might be stopped in the first round with a bad cut when the heads came together in the first round of the left eye of Johnny Tapia. Nice left hook. Johnny spins him, tries to get him off balance, and that's a nice tactic that he has. When he hits a guy, he spins him, tries to get him off balance. That time he didn't get quite in position to throw the right hand back. And he had a little mental lapse there. He throws the punch, all of a sudden he's stopped.
Break! Break! Come on, guys, come on.
Tapia is really a crowd pleaser, the way he shows sportsmanship, yet he's super tough. Guy does something wrong to him, he'll do it right back, then he'll apologize. He's really, you know, a slick guy. And being a street guy and a kid that served time in prison, he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to milk the crowd, he knows how to milk the people, and he's just a super nice kid. You'd love to see a guy like Johnny Tapia be successful when he's had so much adversity in his life. His dad was murdered before he was born. His mother was murdered when he was, I think, 8 years old. And he discovered the body. Imagine what a awful time that is. And the bout with drugs and the suspension from boxing, just everything was going wrong in his life. And then his wife, Teresa,
Come on, guys, come on, both of you
really
guys.
kind of got his head together. And again, the referee warns him. He says, hey, you can't do that with your head, Johnny. I don't care what the other guy's doing. You can't intentionally do what you're doing. Writing on the trunks, by the way, in case you're wondering, means My Crazy Life in Johnny Tapia's trunks. Mi Vida Loca. And on the front is the Tapia. Then Mama on the one leg of the trunks. I mean, this is a kid that fights with emotion. Wow, with the left hand. And the bell ends the 6th round, another Tapia round, and just another one of those 10-9 rounds for Tapia. Other fighters, you know, have a tendency to keep emotion out of the ring. This kid feeds off it. Look at how emotional he is. Here we go, round number 7. This is scheduled for 12. Johnny Tapia in the black and gold. Rodolfo Blanco from Barranquilla in Colombia, fighting out of Miami, Florida now. Lived in Miami for the last 3 years or so. the red trunks.
Punch up. Break. Stop.
And again, those heads come together.
Fight.
And Blanco looks up at the referee like, man, he hit me with his head too, isn't he? The looping right hand gets through, and every time Tapia gets hit, it seems to ignite him more. It's like Felix Trinidad, the great welterweight champion. Every time he gets knocked down, you say, oh man, I'd hate to be the opponent now. That's the way Tapia is. When he gets hit, he kind of gets the adrenaline flow going. Every once in a while, you get an idea that Johnny's got just a little lapse of aggressiveness, and when that happens, he gets nailed, and then all of a sudden he's got all the power right back in his mind and concentration. It's almost like he has little lapses of concentration, a long looping right in, right on top of that eye of Tapia, and you see the blood begin to trickle down again. Been an outstanding job, by the way, through 6 rounds and into the 7th, of keeping that very bad cut in the eyelid of Johnny Tapia under control. But the danger now is the future, depending on how much more tearing and ripping is done to that eye. Johnny realizes that and would like to end this thing, but he hasn't been able to really land the real severe blow that he'd like to end this thing. Blanco's a guy that's only been down once in his career, including his 30 amateur fights that he had, 2, and a national Golden Glove champion. Only off his feet a couple of times in his entire career. Blood flowing pretty good now from that eye of Tapia, as you can see. While the heavyweight division captures the world in Albuquerque, the name is Tapia. That's all I care about here in Albuquerque. And the crowd turned out en masse, you might say. 13,202, a complete sellout here to see this kid fight. It's a terrific arena here in the campus of the University of New Mexico where their basketball team plays. It's built down in a pit, so you enter at the top level and you walk down to get here. And because it's just a basketball court, the way they have set up is just terrific for boxing. Everybody, even in the very last row, has got a real, fairly close, good seat for this. And most of the other arenas that you see are built for both basketball and hockey, so the crowd is further back as it begins to rise. Here it's perfect. Nice right hand gets through. Johnny showing the emotion again. All right, the bell ends round 7. Another one of those 10-9 rounds for Tapia.
Pegadito con él, escúchame, pegadito con él, López. Ahí
in the corner with Rodolfo Blanco.
Pero combínalo, López, no tiren un solo López de derecha y gancho.
They're saying you're doing a good job staying with him, and he is doing a good job staying with him. He's not losing big any rounds. He's just losing every round. Which means, in the final analysis, he's losing by a big score. Watch this. You see every once in a while he lands a shot. And when he does, this is what Tapia does. He fires back. All right, we're getting ready to go to the 8th round now. Nice job in that corner by Tudor Zabala, Roberto Casada, Catmanos, Jose Cuadrado. Nice job. I talked about the nice job that's done on the other side. Tom Vergetz and Jacob Diaz and Roberto Gutierrez. And a reminder, remember Jesse Reed was the handler in the corner for Johnny his last time out. Jesse no longer with Tapia. And Tom Vergetz has done a nice job getting him ready for this fight. And a sensational job in the cuts in that corner. This is the 8th round. It's scheduled for 12. For any reason you just joined us, Tapia was cut very badly in the left eyebrow, actually eyelid, in the very first round. And at that time we questioned whether it could make 4 rounds, and here we are in the 8th. So a terrific job, although there's blood all over the face of Johnny. Johnny winning every round. You hear the crowd come to life when Johnny lands that looping right hand. They'd love to see a knockout here. But it's tough for Johnny to knock this guy out because, you know, Blanco's a guy that doesn't hit the canvas only a couple of times in his career. And Tapia with, you know, 42 wins has got 24 knockouts, and that's not the type of ratio that really is indicative of a big power puncher, because early in his career with his kind of ability, he was knocking out guys that had much less ability. Now, later in his career, he's fighting guys that are all fighting for the title, and when you hold the title, it's much more difficult to maintain it, because every time the guy that you're fighting fights you, he's fighting the fight of his life. Every fight is like the Super Bowl. Or in the case for many of you people watching around the world, it's like the World Cup Finals. Every time your title's on the line. So it becomes tough, and it's tough after 12 title defenses to get yourself up when you're supposed to beat this guy. But the crowd is certainly behind Tapia here, and he's such a colorful kid and such a nice kid. You want to see him be successful. And on the other hand, you don't want to take away from the courage that Blanco's showing, because this is a tough kid from Colombia that's come here and certainly hasn't folded in any way, shape, or manner. Although he's not winning any rounds, he's being competitive in every round. Nice uppercut by Johnny. Johnny shows the hand speed here, and he finally is able to back the kid off. I say the kid, they're both the same age, 31 years old, so they're not kids in terms of boxing age.
Stop. Come on, stronghold fighter. Come on. Fight.
Done a nice job on that cut in the eyelid of Johnny Tapia. We're in the 8th round, in the closing seconds. He's going to make it through 8, that's for sure.
Come on. Fuck.
Johnny finishes the round with a little steam here. All right, the bell ends, the 8th round of the fight.
Control the aggression from the... Hold up, Johnny.
Johnny, the way he talks is like a guy that's, out for a Sunday walk for you and I. His office is this ring. And very few fighters over the years, and guys like Ray Leonard, the ring was their office. Muhammad Ali comes to mind, who loved his time in the ring. Johnny Tapia loves his time in the ring, believe me.
Stop! Good morning.
Now, it looks like he may be taking a point away here. He is taking a point away for a low blow. So it's academic.
Johnny, warning over here. You need to keep it clean, both of you. You understand me? Come on.
It doesn't really make any difference, because Tapia is way out in front in this fight, so losing a point for a low blow is kind of academic. But the referee, Tony Rosales, wants to keep it straight and honest here, and doesn't want anything or any strange endings to the fight that could be caused by a low blow. So he did the right thing, and he's warned both fighters at different times about some of the tactics in the fight. And again, while the low blow was unintentional, it's still a foul, and you just can't let it go on. Some stage, you got to do something about it. Tapia beating him to the punch, and that time Johnny used the shoulder again. The referee didn't say anything to him, but that's the second time that Tapia's done that. And Rosales, if he takes a point away from Tapia, there might be a riot on him. Johnny on the assault now, digs to the body through 3 straight right hands. Nice uppercut inside. Johnny wants to finish this thing off if he can. He's doing everything he can, including the roughhouse tactics. When Tapia uses the roughhouse tactics, it's not that he's a dirty fighter, it's he's so intense. Still illegal, but he's intense. You see him setting it up with the left hand? Look at Johnny. It sounds like I'm making excuses for him, folks, but I'm not. I love the kid, don't get me wrong. But he's an entertaining fighter. But you can't use your elbow to set a guy up and throw that wing at him. And you certainly can't use your shoulder. Tony Rosales is trying to keep it honest here, taking the point away from Blanco. He's got to consider if Johnny continues using that shoulder, taking a point away from Johnny, too. I'd love to see the crowd reaction to that. Look at Johnny use his shoulder, digs low. This kid's a tough kid, and what intensity he fights with. What emotion. Jody Heaps is right. This guy comes to the ring with and uses emotion to his favor. He uses it to his advantage. And every movement he has is designed to entertain the crowd. But he's also entertaining himself. He loves his time in the ring. And you can tell just the way his mannerisms, you listen to him in the corner in between rounds, and you hear just the way he talks. But hey, this is where I belong. I was born to be a fighter. All right, the bell ends the 9th round. Just another one of those Tapia rounds. 10-9.
Take that gun. Take that gun.
This guy's a beaten fighter, but he doesn't look too bad. Johnny Tapia over and taps the gloves of Bobby Ches, the former light heavyweight champ of the world, cruiserweight champ. Bobby Ches, who fought Evander Holyfield. Tapia's just out. It's his birthday, and he's enjoying his party. They cut in the first round. Doesn't bother him. You hit me with a low blow, I hit you back. You bang me with your head, I'll hit you with my elbow. You don't like that, I'll hit you with my shoulder. I'll hang on to you, I'll bang you inside. But in between, I'll go and say hello to Bobby Ches. I'm kind of jealous. I got to see if I can get him over here to say hello to me now. We're in the 10th round, scheduled for 12. I'm Bob Sheridan. You're watching King Vision. We're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Johnny Tapia giving a boxing lesson to Blanco. And as I say that, Blanco lands a couple of shots. Tapia picks up the pace again. Johnny apparently can pick up the pace and land shots anytime he wants. It reminds me of so many fights we saw Ali in. When Ali knew that he could win the fight, he just went out there and just didn't want his time to end in the ring, so he just kept it going and just kept throwing punches and enjoying himself. And that's what Tapia is doing, in spite of the fact he ought to end this thing. And I'm sure he would try to end it if he could, because he doesn't want to take too many more shots in that eye. But down the line, that could be a factor in other fights coming up. And Johnny wants to fight a couple of more years and make some serious money, because for the first time in his career, he's beginning to make some serious money with Don King. Johnny pouring on, and the crowd comes to life immediately. Anything that Tapia does, they love. But while Tapia is making a show, it's Blanco who's making the fight, because he will not crumble. He will not go down. And you hear the crowd, the chants, Johnny, Johnny. And Blanco, while his record being 29-10, is not an opponent-type fighter. He's better than an opponent-type fighter. Now timeout has been called, and I think he's just going to lose tape on his glove. Johnny, in between, is over there in his corner saying hello to the crowd. Trying to get the crowd juiced up. Hey, it's his party. Doing toe touches in between. Working the crowd. Johnny enjoying himself in the ring. Say, yeah, I'm ready anytime. Time is back in now. Here they go. We're in the 10th round. And a little respite helps Johnny because he wants to pick up the pace. Meanwhile, look at this kid Blanco fight back. What a war! Look at this! Tapia getting the best of it. You see the time remaining in the 10th. Johnny really loaded up the right hand and went whistling past the nose of the challenger Blanco. Blanco's some kind of tough. Imagine coming to a guy's backyard, losing every single round, but losing every round close, 10-9. Everybody's against you, and you won't go down. You won't buckle. You won't give in because you're a professional athlete, and you came here to do the best you can. And I give a lot of credit to Rodolfo Blanco and Tudo Zabala in the entire corner for getting this kid ready to fight in a tough spot. Now, what's this? Johnny goes over and hugs him. I don't know what that's all about, but I'll tell you this. Tapia is juiced up.
I need your help, okay? Concentration, need your help. Johnny? No, that's fine. You need this, buddy. Listen to me. We won every round. Now we're in the last 2 rounds.
Watch this Tapia flurry. Boom with the right hand. Left hook inside. Bangs him with another light right hand. Left hand gets through. Light right again. About 20 punches. And every once in a while, you watch the other guy, Blanco, in between, he lands a few shots of his own in here. He sticks his tongue out. Then he laughs. Now he goes over and gets him out. Look at the smile on his face. Does this guy love this?
Johnny, cap, let's go.
I've never seen that before, folks. This is my 573rd world title telecast, and I've never seen a fighter do that. Ever. Here we go to round 11. Sellout crowd in Albuquerque. Back in the first round, it didn't look like this thing was going much beyond the first couple of rounds of that bad cut. But what a job they've done in the corner of Tapia. Blanco still continues to make a fight out of it, losing every round. A nice left hook by Johnny. 11th round action as the blood begins to trickle down that left eye of Johnny Tapia. What a job they've done in that corner. The mouse below the eye, too. Johnny landing a lot of leather here. Tom Vergetz is the new manager over there. It's Jacob Diaz that I got to give all the credit to for keeping Johnny in this, because he's done a terrific job on that cut of Johnny Tapia to keep this thing going. Johnny wants to finish it in a dramatic style. He lunges with the left, lands the second left, and then the right hand. He can't buckle this kid's knees, no matter what he hits him with. Blanco won't go, which is a great credit to him as a professional fighter. You see them head-to-head right there. Johnny looking to land a shot inside. Two lefts, Blanco right back. Johnny moves the head around, makes the tough target, comes to the uppercut, bangs him with the left hand. Another left hand taken on the forehead of the challenger. Blanco continues to come forward. Johnny stops, sets himself up, looking to throw that looping right hand. Protects the eye with the left hand. Expecting to load up with a shot here inside now. Will it be the uppercut? There it is. He digs to the body. That was a good body shot to the ribs, right behind the elbow. When Julio Cesar Chavez was at his peak, those are the kind of punishing body shots he used to land all the time behind the right elbow of a guy with the left hook. There it is again by Tapia. Oh, the crowd really likes this. Johnny really enjoying this. Closing second now of the 11th round. Another Tapia round, 10-9. Johnny Tapia is pitching a shutout. And Gonzalez thinks that this is the fight of his lifetime. Here we go. The 12th and final round of the fight. Johnny Tapia has won every round of the fight.
Come on, fighter.
And
come on.
Rodolfo Blanco has made every round interesting, because it's been definitive rounds for Tapia, but close rounds. The crowd would love to see a knockout, but the way it's going right now, Tapia doesn't have enough power to drop this guy, because Blanco is in tremendous physical shape. He came here not as an opponent, not as a guy that was afraid to come to the backyard of Johnny Tapia on his birthday, and didn't come here to help him celebrate his birthday. He came here to win the World Championship. And he's made a gallant effort at that, although he's just a little short in ability. Johnny a little bit quicker with the hands, a little bit more power.
Up top, fighter.
And that's the difference at the championship level. There's only just a little bit of difference between the real top fighters and then the next level down. And that's what makes them champions. In the case of Tapia, a lot of it has to do with heart and desire. Blanco's not short on heart and desire at all. Just a little short on the ability in comparison to Johnny Tapia. Coming to the midway point of the 12th round in a fight that we never expected back in the first when we saw how bad that cut was. And again, I'll mention the name of Jacob Diaz, because he's done a super job in that cut of Johnny Tapia. Tapia, to his credit, has just gone out and done what he had to do, win every single round of the fight. And he's going to win a convincing decision here, unless something dramatic happens here in the second half of this round. Look at these guys working. No wonder the crowd loves it. Big right hand, cracks him across the jaw with the left. Bangs him again with a straight left hand.
What's up, fighters? Come on, box.
Johnny trying to load up the right hand and give him a real good snapping and try to drop this guy and really get this crowd excited. Left hook to the body. This kid's got to be one sore guy tomorrow, I'll tell you, Blanco. Taking body shots, head shots. That digging liver shot there.
Break. Come on. Fight.
Terrific fight for Johnny Tapia. these digging shots again. Closing seconds now of the fight. A lot of thanks to Carl and Debbie King. They're helping us getting ready from our boxing department. Dana Jamison, Bobby Goodman, Peyton Shear, Greg Fritz, Jim Hunter, Robert Ritchie, Josh Friedman from Brenner's Weichel. All helped us get ready for this fight. The stat man here, Jody Heaps. Thanks a lot. Great job again as usual. Closing seconds now of the fight. And a great night for Johnny Tapia. Listen to the crowd. On my scorecard, a complete shutout. $120 to $108 is the way I have it, with Tapia winning every round, but every round 10-9. A terrific effort by Rodolfo Blanco to make a fight of this. A terrific effort. But I'm quite sure that there's no doubt a unanimous decision win for Johnny Tapia. I've got a 120-108. From international TV staff, I want to thank Jim Merrill for his help. Diane McKay, Barbara Bracco, and Mike Chatazano, in charge of transmission. Mike is with us on his trip. Good job. A lot of thanks to our chief engineer, Chuck Hafley, arranging our ringside security, Poncho Limon. Our stage management, Sis Raycraft, did a super job. Associate producers, Ira Glass and Maria Rusi, back in the studio in Florida. Maria, good job translating always of the Spanish language when we need it. Good to have Ira and Maria working with us. So it's been a good night all around. All right, here's Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, William Ray scores about 119 to 108. Judges Harold Gomes and William Gant both score about 120 to 107. All three in favor of the winner, and still undefeated, and still the IBF and WBO Junior Bantamweight Champion of the world, the baby-faced assassin, Johnny Tapia.
A complete and total victory for Johnny Tapia, retaining the WBO and IBF Junior Bantamweight Championship of the world. The crowd loves it, and so does Johnny. We'll have a few words, I'm sure, from Johnny Tapia momentarily, so we'll hang in here.
Hey, hold on, this is first. Showtime number 1. WBO, IBF,
Jim Gray from the American Network Showtime is in there, and we'll eavesdrop on the interview when Jim is in position. So stand by for that, folks. Here we go.
Johnny, let me ask you, Blanco a little tougher than you might have expected?
Blanco's a good champion. He's a champion of the world. I give him a lot of respect in all the world.
Now, we saw just a little bit of everything. You were in total control of this fight. You even kissed him. We haven't seen a man kiss another man since Isaiah and Magic. What was going on there?
It's my birthday, and I wanted the black guys. I wanted to give them a good thanks and praise. And Showtime, we #1, baby. Don King's the best in the world.
Did you expect to knock him out?
No, I don't try to knock out nobody. I just got to give a lot of thanks and praise to Jesus. And God, I couldn't have did nothing without my wife. And also my co-promoter, Tony Holden.
Now, let me ask you, you were talking to Romero over there during the fight. This was your arch rival. This was a guy you had a long-time rivalry and battle with last year. What were you conversing with him during the fight about?
Danny Romero is my friend. Danny's a good friend of mine. We've always been friends since we were small. It was just a big thing that we have to get it on, and we showed who's the best. And hey, if we're going to do it again, let the promoters handle it, not us.
Do you feel as though you're going to do it again and fight Romero again?
I'll lead up to the best promoter in the world, Don King.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
And then what? Would you maybe move up?
Right here, look at.
Here's Danny. You guys have your arms around each other, but there was a lot of rivalry and a major big-time, you know, not hatred, but just below that, confrontational type of a situation. Now you guys are arm in arm. What's that all about? Just money?
He's done good. Everything's excellent between us. Hey, that's what it is. All of us strive for the same thing. That's a world title, and that's all we do, you know? If it's against me and him, if it's against me and somebody else, him, it's all a good thing.
It must be Valentine's Day. There's just a lot of love in the air here.
You know, people just don't understand that we're partners since we were small. I used to look at, God, he's a hell of a fighter. And then we just grew up, and different things went different ways. We're back together, we're friends, and we'll make it bigger than ever. And God bless both of us.
Do you think as though you're going to have to move up, though, to 122 at some point?
Not 22, I'll never go 22, but I'll go 18. But if Don King wants me to, I'll go 22 or 26.
What do you want him to do, Don?
I want him to be the greatest guy he is, and he's going to continue to be. We're going to go 118 first, and then we're going to go on up to 22. Whatever to do, we're going to do. This is the best fight in the world. This young kid here is a sensation, and 13,220 people, sellout crowd. Ain't too many of them can do that.
All right, we're going to hear from Don a little bit more in a moment. Congratulations to you, Johnny. Good to see you, Danny. Let's send it back over to Steve.
So a great night of boxing from Albuquerque, New Mexico. On behalf of our producer-director, Marty Cohen, and our entire production staff here at King Vision, I'm Bob Sheridan saying, so long, everybody.